I bought a 2025 Panini Donruss retail box for $78, and I decided not to rip it all at once. Instead, I opened one pack a day, chasing the card everybody actually wants out of this product, which would be a downtown. And because this is 2025 Donruss, that means every day I'm also checking the rated rookies because this class is special and the product is always interesting. If you're in the sports card hobby, you already know what Donruss is, or even Optic. It's one of those football releases that always have mattered as long as Panini has had the license because it gives you rated rookies, recognizable inserts, and one of the hobby's biggest chase cards, which would be a downtown. And that's why people keep ripping it every year. And with 2025 Donruss, the rookie side of this class is still a big deal. The product leans into the new draft class and the downtown checklist, which itself includes rookies like Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Travis Hunter, Ashton Gentney, which basically tells you exactly why people are still chasing this thing. So my idea was simple. Instead of treating this like a normal retail rip, I wanted to treat this retail box like a challenge. One pack a day, no speeding through it, no ripping the whole thing in one sitting. Just one shot every day to see whether this box actually had anything real in it. And to be honest with you, that changes the whole feel of the box. Because when you rip a retail box all at once, you react and move on. When you stretch it out across days, every pack starts carrying more weight. Now for the early part of the box. At the start, I felt good about this box. Not because I thought I was guaranteed anything. Retail is still retail. Just because Donruss is one of my favorite products, and it's one of those products where the chase is real enough to keep you interested and focused at all times. That's what makes it good content too. You're opening a product where the rated rookies can matter, the inserts are recognizable, and the ceiling is a downtown. I don't know about you guys, but that's enough to keep every sealed pack feel alive. And early on, that was my mindset. Maybe the next pack had the rookie I want. Maybe the next pack had an insert I was looking for. Maybe just overall the box is better than average. Nothing insane happened right away, but the box also didn't feel dead. And honestly, that's the best way for a challenge like this to start. Because if the beginning is completely dead, people check out. But if the box gives you just enough, the whole thing stays alive. And that's exactly what happened in the beginning of this box. Now, the reason I picked this product, I think 2025 Donruss actually works really well for a challenge like this and a challenge I was trying to do. Because it's not just some random football Panini product, it's still one of the core products that people pay attention to every single year because of rated rookies and downtowns. And the 2025 release still follows that formula. The 2025 checklist has 100 rated rookies, and downtown is still one of the central SSP cards in the line. And honestly, that really matters, because if I'm going to have to drag out a box over days, it better be a product where each rip can actually matter. And Donruss is one of the few retail football products where that just makes sense. Even if you don't hit huge or hit a downtown, you're still tracking rookie names, insert quality, how the box feels, and whether you still like all the players in this class in your mind. So while this isn't some impossible, I ripped forever and barely got anything story, it is a good test of what 2025 Donruss retail actually feels like when you stop treating it like background wax and start treating it like a real challenge in your head. Now, the middle of the box. This is where the box started getting very interesting, because once you've opened enough of it, one pack at a time, the unopened packs start feeling more important than the open ones. That's when you start thinking like a collector, not just like a content creator or a reseller. You start asking, what could be left in this box, or am I still alive for the real hit? Is this one of those boxes that gives you just enough to keep hoping and then you don't even get anything? And if you open enough retail over your time in the hobby, you know exactly what I mean, and you can probably relate. Retail gets in your head because it doesn't have to be loaded to stay interesting. It just has to leave enough on the table that you still believe. And once I started pulling some of these cards like Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Shador, the challenge had this type of tension. Now, every day felt like it could actually change the whole mood of this retail rip. Really quick, I just want to talk about the part people outside the hobby don't usually understand. A lot of times in sport cards, it's not just about whether you hit or miss. It's about whether the product keeps you engaged to believe the next rip still matters. Now, I know that's kind of a gambler's mindset, but honestly, I think it's true. Because if you open packs, you're always looking for that good card to have in your collection to sell. And with Donruss every year, that's still a real thing because downtowns remain one of the product's biggest draw cards. That's why I really like this challenge. It wasn't fake suspense, it was hobby suspense. There's a difference. And me personally, I've never even held a downtown, only at card shows, but I don't even count that. At this point in the box, I was tracking in my head like my profit, was I up or down? And I'm not gonna lie, I was down. And at this point, I was thinking, this box really isn't balanced. It might have already shown its best card, how would I have known? But if you open sports cards, you know the odds don't owe you anything at all. But you also know that until the right card shows up, the pack or box still has a chance to change its whole grade. That's what made the later packs better content than the earlier ones. And that's not because the product magically changed. It's because the context changed. The story mattered. The build-up mattered more. And then the pressure started to happen for the last packs. Now, every single one of those last packs started to feel bigger. Again, not because I was pretending this was some impossible chase. It wasn't. It's because if you hit a downtown out of one retail box, that's a very strong outcome. And honestly, that's probably the best outcome you can get. Now, as you can see on screen, going into the end of the box, I was in the exact collector mindset I wanted for this video. I knew two things at once. Retail is still retail, and the box still had enough left that I couldn't write it off. That's the sweet spot. That's where the real hobby tension is. No fake drama, not pretending every pack is insane, just knowing enough about the product to understand what's possible and letting the unopened part of the box keep the whole challenge alive. And with 2025 Donruss, that's what made it fun, because this product still matters, the rookie matters, and the downtown chase is still alive. Last couple of packs, no more build, no more theory, no more trying to read the box. At this point, the challenge had to answer. And we did it. I know we got crazy lucky, but we pulled an Ashton Jentney downtown, my first ever downtown pull in my entire life. These are the type of videos I want my channel to be built on. Not just opening packs for the sake of opening packs. I want it to feel like a challenge, a real hobby decision, and like trying to make money, like thinking in the mind of an investor. So let me know what you think. Would you rather rip a 2025 Donruss retail box all at once, or open it one pack a day like I did and make something out of this challenge like I did? And if I do another one of these, tell me what product or chase I should try next. Because if this is what one Donruss retail box turned into, I already know the next challenge could be even better.